D.C. Police Chief Peter Newsham says his department went through the newly released body camera video of the police shooting of Deon Kay, and it shows that Kay had a gun in his hands and was moving toward police. That shooting sparking days of protests in the city. We bring in political insider Armstrong Williams right now to discuss this. So people, Armstrong, understandably upset and angry after this latest police shooting involving a black man. What's your take on that shooting after that police body camera video was released, and also on the protests that brought outsiders into our city?
Involving a black man, it was involving someone who obviously had a gun, who exhibited the kind of behavior where people could have been harmed. Police were at the scene. They felt threatened. They did all they could to de-escalate the situation. And obviously, they felt they had no choice but to take this person out. In law enforcement, everything is not about black and white. It's about the behavior that the person is exhibiting. We're fortunate enough to have a mayor in this city, and Mayor Bowser, who backs her police, she trusts her police, and she does not marginalize her police. And they have to make judgment calls. It's easy for us to sit on the sideline and make these calls and make everything about black and white. But this was not a situation about black and white, Melanie. This was a situation about someone who was proven to have had a weapon, just happened to be a gun. Are you going to give this person an opportunity to create more harm, take lives, and injure people? And yes, the protests will come. And a lot of these protesters are from the outside. They have no interest in about the fact that somebody was shot. They don't care about their behavior. They don't care about what they're doing about at this time. But fortunately, the reason why Washington, D.C. did not turn into Portland and to Seattle and to Atlanta and these other places that are out of control, because we have a mayor that reinforces law enforcement in the nation's capital.
Well, this week we saw both of the presidential candidates visiting Kenosha, Wisconsin, the scene of another police-involved shooting last week. Jacob Blake, he was left paralyzed. The two campaign visits, though, starkly different in tone and in substance. Do you think it was appropriate to politicize the shooting in an election year?
Melanie, listen, it is a political season. I mean, on your best days, it's impossible not for people to read into the fact that it's being politicized. Donald Trump, our president, went to Kenosha, even though the local officials did not want him to come. He met with law enforcement. He met with the community. He showed that this administration cares. Had Donald Trump not gone to Kenosha, they would have said he doesn't care about these situations. He doesn't show up. He lacks compassion. He just cannot win. The only reason Joe Biden showed up is because the Democratic leadership and party activists across the country said, look, you just cannot stay in your bunker, ignore what's going on in Kenosha. You got to get out of that bunker and you got to be seen. You got to speak to the people. You got to meet with the families. It's the only reason Biden was in Kenosha in the first place. No matter what their agendas are, we need to have our president and possibly somebody who could become a future president show that they care about these communities, heal these communities, stop this violence, and reinforce the virtues and the values of this country.
Well, it's good to talk to you today. Thanks so much for your thoughts. And you can watch the Armstrong Williams Show. It airs every Saturday morning at 10:30 right here on WJLA 24/7 News.